Doing? Hope everybody's doing good tonight, or this morning, anyway. I'm just going to pop on here real quick and do a quick one today, guys. Yeah, just going to kind of do a update. There's a couple things going on that we can take a look at that I want to bring to your guys' attention. Thanks for everybody that's here. Arizona Raven, thank you for popping in here and modding for me. Ghost, Ryan, Taylor, Paul. Paul did it, yeah. I see you in here a lot, Paul. George, G513, Paris, Frequency Revolution, hi back to you. D-double-J, that's right. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get into this so I can get this information out to you, and I'll see if you guys got any questions at the end of it. Guys, take it easy on Arizona in there. It looks like by itself, so. So anyway, there's a few things going on that I really do want to talk about here. First thing I'm going to bring up here, guys, is the Schumann. And you guys know we talk about this every day. Let me go ahead and just bring it to this one. Okay. Actually, I'm going to back off because it shows more what I want to show you. So we got, we had a decent sized spike. I think it was back on the 19th. Maybe it was the 18th. Can't really, yeah, it was 18th, and it lasted like 12, 16 hours. It was, it didn't really get up all that high as far as hertz and all that, but it was long lasting. Then we get this one, okay, and this one here was roughly, fairly close to the time of the earthquake and stuff that was going on yesterday up in Alaska, and we talked about that a little bit. But the biggest thing for me right now is this. Okay, there's a substantial amount of missing time here. You got, let's see here, 19 to, well, about 11 or 12. So you're missing, what would that be? 17 hours? Is that what that is? Something like that, yeah. Roughly like something like that. But we're missing all that data. No data there, okay? This has happened before, but typically on the Schumann tool, we don't usually see that kind of an area that is missing that much data. But what makes it even more strange is the fact that other tools are missing the same data that have absolutely nothing to do with this Schumann tool. So yeah, you got to start asking why when you see that kind of stuff. Okay. So I'll take you guys over here to Space Weather Prediction Center, and we are in an uptick right now geomagnetically, okay? We had a couple flares, and I'll show them to you guys here in just a few minutes. But one of them was right here, right around noon, and then one at the turn of the day. Now you can see that, the first flare didn't hardly do anything geomagnetically, right? But the second one, I'm not sure if it had anything at all to do with it, but it was the start, right at that time, was about the start of the increase in geomagnetic activity. Now that could be a whole lot of different things, okay? So we're gonna look at it, but I think what's going on there is we're scheduled to get, well, they're saying we're going to get a geomagnetic storm, maybe a G1, sometime on the 22nd into the 23rd. Well, where are we at right now? We're about halfway, and they go off of UTC time, and these are 3-hour blocks, okay? So we're just about to noon on the 21st. It would not surprise me at all for that to be in storm level on this next data update. All right? Because it could get here quicker than what they thought. Like I said before, guys, once it leaves the sun, we don't, we can't tell how big or how strong it is or how fast it's moving until it hits our detectors. So it takes a minute. So anyway, the sun. We're going to look at the sun a little bit more in depth on the other site, but just to touch on it for a minute, you guys can clearly see that the coronal holes are opening up here, guys. And you know, it does that from time to time, and as we creep more and more into solar maximum, we're going to see more and more of that happening. They're going to get bigger. They're going to hang around longer. So what that means is just a solid increase in solar wind altogether. But now we got this one that we've been watching, and it is doing stuff. Okay. Then we got this one up here now too, active area. This is just now going off the side. Now I think they actually named this one right before it went off the edge of the limb. I think they actually designated it as a sunspot for a very short period of time. Now I could be wrong on that, but I think I seen it somewhere. I was looking, and this one definitely is a sunspot. Matter of fact, it's one of the more put together sunspots that we've had in solar cycle 25 so far. But this one here, it's a no deal for us right now because it's rotating off. It's not going to do much to us. It can't. But we got these coronal holes is really where the story's at. And then we got this one area of the sun is just, for whatever reason, we're getting this little anomaly over here, and it's been there for over a week. So it's going right at a week, I should say. There's also some solar vortexes up here on this side, and I'll show it to you when we get to the other captures. Now, I want you guys to look at this for a second before I go to those other models. You got the magnometers here, and look what it did right here. Okay? That right there is why the increase in the geomagnetic activity. So, it picked it up here on the magnometers too. Now, I was sitting there and I was trying to figure out what the heck's going on with the missing data stuff, right? On the Schumann. But look at this. Okay? ACE is not giving us any data at all. Hasn't since about, 1700 UTC. And we are now, it's going on a full day. In 4 more hours, it'll be a full day. So what's going on with that, right? Now then we get over here to Enlil, and it's still doing its predictions. It's still updating. So what's happening? And I know they get their data a lot of times from different sources, but I think what's going on is we had that solar weather, and I'll show it to you in a second. And I think it got inside the satellite line, and it's affected. They either went down into safe mode, or something's happened. One or the other. So, as we talk about this, keep that in mind, because we don't know nothing from ACE right here. We're still getting a solar wind reading up here. So, I'm not sure. That's probably coming from GO 16, I would imagine. I could be wrong on that, but, we get these readings from different satellites, okay, depending on what you're looking at. So, let's go to the next thing here. Okay, this is it. This is ISWA. And, yeah. So, what we'll do first is I will show you this up here. Actually, I wonder if this one's got the glitch in it or not. Because I want to talk about that too. Okay, now see, this is where I start having some issues. We got the missing data on the Schumann. We got the missing data here on ACE. We go over here. This is LASCO C2. This is on SOHO, a total different satellite. And we are missing... Let's see if I can't figure out where it starts. Oh, I backed it up. My bad. That right there, guys, I want to talk about that for a second too. Okay, I already talked about this, but I got a few emails, and they were asking me what I thought this was, and I'd already done a video on it. So I'm kind of curious on, number one, why did they, they must have not seen my video and just seen this and was like, hey, trying to help out, that kind of thing. So let me explain this again. Okay? I don't want people getting all crazy on this one because it's nothing to get crazy about. And let me explain. I'm going to back up one image. Nothing is there, right? So let's go to the next image right there. Okay, that's when it shows up, this crazy looking anomaly. And then it's gone, with the exception of this. Okay? So, all of this here is gone in one advance of the camera. In 12 minutes, all that stuff is gone. So what's that telling you? That's telling you that that is no way near a debris cloud of any sort. Okay? And the reason why is we are not, and this satellite is not going to pass through a densely populated debris cloud from a comet in 12 minutes. It is impossible. So don't let other people tell you that that is a debris cloud when it's only there for one capture. That's not what's going on there. Now this could be part of debris. But that is not a debris cloud. Now, I might have a different opinion here if this thing stuck around for 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 hours. It did not. Okay? So when I go here and I see this right here is most likely what caused that. It got close enough and it was passing in front of that satellite, and it either bounced light, because you can see how bright it is. Now remember, we're looking at this and it looks as if this thing's out by the sun, right? But we do not know that. We cannot know that. Not just by looking at this. Most likely this thing is closer to the satellite than it is the sun. Or it's in the middle somewhere. If this was something that was out by the sun, then we can look right over here on stereo A and it should show up right there. And it's not. Okay? That's on the 20th at 5:24. So that what I'm showing you here, that's the 21st at 8. So that's 24 hours difference from this to this. So let's go back and see if we can't find the time frame here. There's 20 at 4:24. Nothing's there. Absolutely nothing. Okay? So that right there is telling me, because the field of view on stereo A, guys, here's stereo A. That's the Earth. Okay? So the field of view is right here. So if that thing we seen was out by the sun, stereo A would be seeing it, and it's not. So that's telling me that, again, that thing is not out by the sun. So what I'm trying to tell you here, guys, don't think that this is some crazy freaking debris field, because it's not. Alright? I mean, you can see reflections here, right? And some of these reflections are not in the right position, which tells you also that, you know, this happened first, and then we see this. So a couple things are possible there. The sun could have bounced light off of this into the camera. Okay? Whatever this is. This is probably just a small meteorite. I guess it could be a comet, but I don't think so. It's got a clear direction of travel. I'll give it that. And it looks like it is moving fast. But the other thing that this can be, guys, is like cosmic rays. And that's exactly what a big old shot of cosmic ray would do to these cameras. And it would only last 1 or 2 captures. Okay? So please don't let somebody tell you that's a debris cloud, because it's not. It's just not. You know, I don't know how else to say that, because this goes back to the, you know, do we really want to push so far against something just because we don't want them to show us any truth at all? Everything is not a conspiracy, guys. And sometimes, you know, I used to do the same thing. And I just don't think we need to be thinking that is something that it's not. You know, because that, guys, listen, if you're going to tell somebody that's a debris cloud, you're scaring people. It's that simple. I mean, I'm not going to tell you it's not. I'm not going to tell you that it is. But in my opinion, because of the emails I got, that's why I'm addressing this. In my opinion, my humble opinion, that is not a debris cloud. And I just gave you all the reasons why I think the way that I do. I didn't just jump out here and just say it was something without giving you guys some sort of observational evidence of what I'm saying. I'm not going to come out here and just give some blanket claim against something that, and not give you guys anything to look at. So anyway, I'm sorry I get a little upset about that, because it does. It really upsets me sometimes, because a lot of the people that are telling everybody this is a debris cloud, they know better. They know better. Anyway, the sun. Okay, so now we got this area up here. Guys, things are just going to get busy. Alright, the sun's waking up. It's that simple too on that one. Let's go in here, let's dive in. Okay, so we're getting, you know, look at that big filament up there. That's where that solar tornado's at. And we'll watch it here in just a second. I'm going to push this in play. We'll just take a look at it. I can probably go in a little closer. Now, you won't be able to see the vortex very easy on the 304 here. But, you know, it is pretty cool to look at that. But here, this one here is actually what gave us some of those flares. Okay? I'm going to push play on the purple here, on the 211. Watch this. There's that one I showed you the other day. And you're going to see it flash down here, watch. See that? The heck did I push? Let's bring it back. Do it again. You see that little puff it did? Okay? And it also flashed right there. That was one of those flares. Okay? It was like a B-class flare. Wasn't nothing big, nothing like that. But as we keep going here in time, you're going to see this up here like really open up. This coronal hole is no chump. Okay? That thing is, that's going to give us some solar wind. Now you can even see the solar vortex there even on the 211. Zoom in a little bit more, I'll show it to you. See it? And wow. You know, it's up here now. That's a tall one, guys. If I had to guess, that's probably, oh gosh, probably somewhere between, oh, I don't know, 4 to 8 maybe Earths. If I had to give it a range, maybe 7. Probably not 8, probably more like 7. That's how tall it is. And it's got other ones now, which it didn't have that yesterday, kind of, you know, flipping around here. I just think it's cool when we see that kind of stuff. We'll see it pretty easy on this yellow one, the 171. I'll go ahead and push play, and we'll go back up here. But while you guys are looking at that, you know, take a look at these. That was off the other side of the sun till today. And that's, you know, that's what we got to look forward to. I look for this to become sunspot, okay? It's active already. It's already has some flares, and I think it had a couple CMEs on the other side over here on the side of the sun. But that's going to be active. Now, they're kind of spread out, which doesn't necessarily, negate it from being a sunspot. It just depends on what kind of characteristics are there. But this solar vortex is pretty cool. Okay, so let's look at the magnetopause here, guys. All right. Actually, I'm going to stop that one. I'm going to reload it. See if we got any new data on this. Because, guys, this one's missing data, too. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. We got multiple tools not giving us any new data. And when that happens, usually something's going on. As far as solar weather, just keep in mind, guys, these things go into safe mode to protect themselves. All right? So if they're getting smacked with some pretty good stuff, the satellite itself will go into safe mode, and it'll protect itself from the solar wind because it doesn't have a magnetic field like the Earth does. So it's out there just exposed. So you're going to see a lot of energy here, guys. Probably even, see what's going on there? So we definitely are getting hit. Okay, there's your jump in time. Watch the timestamp down here where my cursor is. That's at 1:33, 2:05, 2:13. Okay, there it went. So we go from 2:20, 2:26 to 8:51. So what is that? Close to 7 hours. And when we got the data back, when it came back, we're compressed. Okay, let me back that up. See, that's usually where the bow shock is, just about. But then we get hit. Look what it does. We get compressed, and then we get rapid expansion when we recover. Watch. If it does it. Nope. It didn't do it because, did you see this little kink? That means we were still getting hit with solar wind. See it flipping around there? So once we win that battle, and we will, okay, we always do, we'll have rapid expansion, and sometimes this bow shock will even go off the edge here. Just for a split second. And everything's looking pretty normal as far as, when we're getting solar wind, this is exactly what I would expect this tool to look like. Nothing too crazy. Now, I did notice around the Earth, the Earth here, watch this. See how all that pressure's there? And watch it back off. Alright, and then we go to that, which is hardly any. And then it jumps time again. Okay? So we go from there, which again, it's going to be the 226. All three of these are getting their data from the same place, okay? So that's why they're all three missing the same data. That isn't what's odd. What's odd is when you see this, and then you go to a totally different tool, and you still see it. It won't be exact, but it'll be close. Now check this, you're checking all this out right here. Watch, that ain't really what it typically looks like. It looks more like that most of the time. But right here is what we got going on with that. And then we miss another 6 hours. And we were getting hit there a little bit. Not too bad, though. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. Even in my thumbnail there. The sun's waking up. Our magnetic field's about 20 to 25% weaker than what it is. And that's why this stuff that's hitting us that isn't all that strong is really affecting our magnetic field. Okay? It's going to. Now, keep in mind, these coronal holes, these things are growing. And that's, if I had to give one thing that's going to, on top that gives us geomagnetic activity, it would be these coronal holes. They're consistent. They open up quite often, and they're most of the time they're the reasons why we get into storm level. This model actually jumped time too. It wasn't even giving me any data for like 6 hours at all, so it was stuck on the same capture. But check out this density one. Look at this one. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? So you're probably asking, well, what's it showing us here? All right. Now, I talked about this my last stream. I didn't know it was going to happen today, but it did. Our bow shock is still there, guys. Okay? It was a while back. There were a few people out there saying that the bow shock went down because they were looking at this kind of stuff. All right? And it looks like our bow shock's not there, but it is. The only thing this is showing you is the density of the particles. So all that this means is that the density of the particles in front of the bow shock and behind it are very similar, which is why you can't see it on this graph. That's it. It's that simple. And you can see how, the white is low density, okay? So you can see how it starts getting flushed out, some of those dense particles, because the white starts building back. See that? And it looks like it's starting to come on back around. And this is going to mirror it, okay? One's a side view, one's a top-down view. That's the only difference there. Now, I want to talk about this one a little bit, because this one was kind of, it does point out a few things here. This is why I think that this stuff got inside the satellite line. First off, look at this. It looks like an egg. What that means is we're getting pressed on both sides. We're getting squeezed. It's that simple. But, we've had this happen all the time, okay? Maybe not to this extent, but this happens quite often. Now watch the pressure just get real intense back here. Really quick like. See how it goes around? Now, you see that little thing just flip by? Look at that. Wham. But so we go to this, and yeah, when I see something like this, I'm not so sold that we don't have something other than the sun affecting us, because that's a lot of pressure, and it's hitting us hard enough that it's coming around the side. So, something's pushing this, from right to left there. And I don't know where it's coming from or whatever. I'm not even going to get into that discussion. It could be that rebound effect we see. But we're not getting a whole lot at the front when we see that. It builds on its own without getting hit in the front. That's why I think this is something different. So, like I said, it could become, it could be anything really. So, yeah, I just thought those were odd. Now, the Australian model. You're going to see it bouncing around. And that's, this is a very simple model, and I've talked about that already before. We'll go back to the 20th because we just didn't get to see a whole lot of data. But this one did the same thing, okay? It missed some time. I'll show it to you here in a second when we get to it. But I think what's happened is we got a big hit. It pushed our bow shock. See what's happening there? Look. Let's see what it does here. Okay, so we got to the end of the day. It was moving around pretty good there, okay? So let's go to the 21st and see what the time is. Yeah, did you see that? It went from 0 to 7. We missed about 7 hours of data. And what's happened is the solar weather's got all the way into these satellites. Okay? And it's messed with one of them. Or multiple ones. Depending on what tool you're looking at. So some of that data is missing. But check out the geomagnetic activity. This is our geoelectric field, I should say. The solar weather's effect on our electrical grid and all of our unnatural electrical equipment like transformers, wires, all that stuff. This was actually a little bit more intense a little while ago. Just updated while I was trying to get this video out. We were seeing some greens and yellows in here, okay? But we're still getting hit. So, earthquakes. Talk about this for a minute. We're still getting some here in Alaska, okay? That's going to be expected, guys, okay? But I was looking at this a minute ago. There was one there just happened, a 4 or 5 in Afghanistan. But then we get this one right in the middle of China. You know. Then again, like I said, we got this one up here. That's a 4-7. 2 days after a big quake, we're still getting decent-sized quakes there. This one here is in Nevada, probably. Oh, that was in Arizona. Okay. Right there. All right. But there's one here that I've seen that I want to talk about for a minute. Most people don't think that, well, it doesn't dawn on them that we get earthquakes on the poles too. Okay? I'm going to change this to all magnitudes. Or actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to change it to 7-day. Because we'll be able to see more. Okay? So we got this one down here. That's a 5-1, guys. Now remember, the ones I'm showing you right here, they're on fault lines. The one up here is the one that was really kind of strange. We do get some earthquakes up here. It's not completely crazy. But we get this 5-6 one. That's pretty large for up here. And if I'm correct, I think there's a volcano there. But something else that happened here, we now have these two up here too. That happened on the 17th. That was on the 19th. Now, they're not that big, okay? But you got to understand, we're way up north here, guys. Way north. You don't get much more north than that, okay? So I'll take this back to 1 day, all magnitude, and we'll look at it for what we got here. And again, these up here in northern Alaska, they're not like completely rare or anything, but they are on the less active side, okay? We see them there sometimes, just not very often. And then we got the swarming still going on here. Our whole west coast, California, Oregon, Washington's getting into the game here. So, and this is the Cascadia zone. You guys know we talk about that a lot. We're still getting some out here, but yeah. So let's take a look at seeds. Here's the 20th. This is stereo A. And I already showed you guys both of these really, but not on this tool. So we'll go the next day. And what happens? We're missing data again. I mean, we miss a little bit every day, but not like this, guys. I mean, this is just too much. Get this back. We'll go up here, Lasco C2. Here's the 20th. Again, that's when that one big glitch I was just talking about happened. Okay? And that's the other thing too, guys. If something bright just flashes through that camera, okay? This is what you'll see. Okay, you'll see that. But if it was a debris cloud, guys, it would stay there. Not just for 12 minutes, but for a long time. So we go to that, and then we get to ghosting. Okay, that's an exact reverse of what I showed you the first time. So what was black is now white, and what was white is now black. And then there's that. That's in my opinion, I think this is probably what caused this camera to glitch out. Because it did it in stereo A too. And if you're looking at this could have passed in front of both satellites. or the sun could have reflected the sun's light. I don't know. But this is this most definitely is an artifact here that I think is legit. And and I explained it in my video yesterday about why. It's easier to explain it when you're looking at the red one because you can see a clear direction that it's moving. Plus, you got this other stuff. Now, I want to say this too. We are going through the Oridid meteor shower. But notice that when we're in the Oridid meteor shower, what happens? We're there for days. Not 12 minutes. Days. Okay? That's my whole point. I mean, we really just can't... Yeah. So, we'll go over here. I'll refresh that screen. See what we got new here. Yeah, they're still calling... They're talking about a G1 storm on the 22nd to the 23rd. It almost looks like it might have arrived soon. I said that a minute ago. But then you're going to get some more meteors from the debris cloud that we've been talking about, right? And that's what's going on. Also, this was pretty cool. We get to see a little bit different view of the moon because of what's going on here. I would encourage you guys to go over here and read this article. It's cool. Spaceweather.com, guys. Come check them out. They do some really bang-up work down here, guys. They really do. In my opinion. Now, look again here, guys. Look at this. You can see how the coronal holes are now starting to flourish. Okay? And when this happens, we will get a steady increase of solar wind that will barely even take a break sometimes. So, yeah. Now, this here is looking a little bit impressive now, too. Yeah, so we got this area, this area, this area. Looks like there's a little bright region over here getting ready to crest over, maybe. And then we got all these coronal holes. What's that compute to? It computes to the sun waking up. Okay? And anybody that tells you that that's not what's going on, I would challenge them. I really would. Because I can show you observation after observation to the fact that we are in an upticked area of the sun is waking up. And if I have to say, check this out. That 77% in 2019, which was a space age record of low activity. That's telling you 77% of the days we had no sunspots facing Earth. Now look at 2020. It's at 69. What does that mean? That means that it has already upticked 8%. If the year was to end today, we would have an 8% increase in activity. All right? I know the number went down, right? But it didn't... It's the opposite, okay? Most people, when they look at this, they think, oh my gosh, it got weaker. No, it's the opposite. Because it's telling you the amount of days that we don't have any sunspots. That's the percentage you're seeing. Compare that to last sun cycle. Okay? 73 was the low number there, and 71 was the high. So what's that a difference of? 2%. So we're upticking quicker than what we did last time. By percentage, anyway. Now, here, we had 44 fireballs, which is most definitely active. It's a pretty good uptick. But again, guys, we're in that meteor shower, right? So, then we get this. And I didn't see anything too odd on this one right now, guys. Now, I know we're supposed to get one today at a 0.1 lunar distance, which is just, it's 1/10 of the way to the moon. So something's going to come close. Unless it's already been here and gone, I don't know. God forbid, I hope it didn't do something to that satellite, I guess. Because it's pretty close, guys. That's a close one. I guess that could be inside the satellite line. It probably is. I don't know for sure, so I don't really want to claim that. But I didn't see them add too much to this today. So really not much to talk about there. Okay. So, what you guys think? Man, my neck is killing me, guys. Hey, Ellie, how you doing, bud? Arizona Raven, thanks for sticking around, taking care of this chat for me. Really appreciate it. Oh. Man, my neck is killing me. Hey, Axe, what's up? Angelo, what's up? Yeah, it is some crazy stuff, you know. And I'm sorry, guys. I really do need to probably apologize for that a little bit. It just, I guess I want people so much not to be fooled by. And most of the time, guys, it's not intentional. People do that; they're just making a mistake, and that's why I don't call people out by name, because probably about 50 to 75% of the time, it's a true mistake. It's just they don't want to hear the right answer. Okay? And what causes that? It's the reverse dogma stuff I talk about. Alright? All of us here that are here on this channel for any length of time, in this community, any length of time, we are so programmed to, and I'm using that word program because eventually that's what it becomes, to fight against what we were told, right? So even when we do hear the truth, even if it's coming from over there, those people we don't like, or they, we always call them they, right? Even when they tell us the truth, we don't hear it. We automatically think something's screwed up, no matter what. So, and when I see, you know, I don't even address stuff like that until I get emails on it. Because if I get one email, okay, I'll answer it and I'll take care of it that way. But if I get 3, 4, 5, 6 different emails on the same subject line, I have to say something about it. Because at that point, those people that are emailing me are confused. And the confusion came from somebody telling them the wrong information. And if you just stop and think about what I showed you guys here today, especially with, let me pull this up again, because this is you know, it is something we have to understand this. So if you think about this logically, I mean, just take out all the space stuff altogether, right? What does a KP of 4 mean? Here, I'll show you real quick. That's a good question. Thank you for asking that. That's an excellent question. That's what we need to be talking about, you know? Okay, KP of 4, guys. This is the geomagnetic activity chart. And I know a lot of you already know this, but some don't. Okay? So what we're looking at is you got this chart. You got this bar here. When it gets to 4, which is over here, that's the KP. Now, they directly go off of that 4 geomagnetic storm levels. If the KP gets to 5, it makes it a G1 storm. Okay? So that's what we're looking at when we look at that. So a KP of 6 would compute to a G2, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, that's what that is. Good question, no, thank you. Thank you for asking that. Seriously, that's a great question. Let me go back here. Okay? Now, again, like I said, let's take out all the science. Let's take out everything about any of this. Looking at this, you see, I mean, can you imagine the amount that would be? Okay, first and foremost, if we had that many meteors hanging around at any given time, this satellite is right out in front of Earth. Do you not think that if we went outside when it was dark, that the sky would look like it had a bunch of fireflies just flicking everywhere. Okay, that's exactly what you would see. Okay, you would see it with your eyes. No equipment needed. Okay, because it would light the sky up. I'm telling you, this satellite we're looking at is, like I said, just sitting out in front of Earth. It has the same conditions as Earth, and then it's only here for one capture. Then it's gone. So I'm telling you guys, just think about that logically. Take out all the other stuff. Forget that we hate the man, okay? Forget that for a second. And just step back, look at this as it is, and this is what it is. Now, we can have a different opinion. You know, I'm not mad at anybody for this. Because guess what? Somebody could come up to me tomorrow and say, hey man, you were wrong about what you were saying yesterday about this. And if they could show me where I'm wrong and why, I will come here tomorrow and tell you why. And I will tell you what was up. I mean, I got a correction video I'm going to be doing this week anyway on some stuff that I seen on the satellite that I was wrong. Okay? It ain't nothing like real huge or nothing, but it's, you know, it's not affecting us. But I'm going to go back and show it to you guys when I get time this week. Because I made a mistake. It's that simple. And it ain't a big mistake. I thought something was there and it wasn't. We'll get into it later, but yeah, I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But I'm going to come out here and I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to give you my opinion when asked or when I get 20 emails about one subject. It's just kind of crazy. You know, so please just, you know, if it, let me say this, I don't want to offend people. I'm trying not to, I really am. If it walks like a duck, smells like a duck, it's probably a duck, right? I mean, that goes back to Occam's razor, too. Usually the simplest explanation is what the answer is. So if you step back, you look at this is what you figure out. Right? I mean, you know, so when we get the second capture and we get this, to me, that could actually cause that glitch. I really wish, especially the guys that are calling this like whatever they were calling it, some sort of big, massive debris cloud that was so thick you couldn't see through, because that's what this would be, would really go get the schematics for the cameras that's looking at this stuff and just look at them for a second. Because then they wouldn't make statements like this. Because if you go look at the cameras, guys, what I just told you, all that stuff I just told you, would make perfect sense. I've shown you guys the cameras before. So, I mean, that's just, yeah. So, I guess what I'm saying, and the biggest issue I have is that I want to go where the truth's at, and I don't want people, you know, taking stuff that we know to be true, or we think we know that that's true, and just because of where the information's coming from, we call it false. Because we know that this satellite we're looking at is ran by the government, right? Or at least some sort of government entity. So we automatically, you know, we're skeptical right away, rightfully so, because I am too. But when we can look at this and like walk it through like I just did, we have to be able to lay down our pride and say, listen, this is what this is. This isn't some big conspiracy on this one thing. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, there is. There's a debris cloud, but it ain't like this. This right here, guys, I hope you guys understand. Okay? When we're talking about a debris cloud, we're not talking about something this thick. If we were going through a debris cloud this thick, I don't know that we'd be sitting here talking to each other. My guess is there would be so many meteors flicking around everywhere that all the satellites would be destroyed. Like I said, we could go outside and it would look like the 4th of July. And it's not. And it's taken, it's going to take us 3-4 days to get out of this. So, that's just kind of what I'm saying. Man. What you guys got going on in here? Let's see what we got. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. You guys got any questions? And again, guys, I know I get a little fired up over that kind of stuff. I do apologize. I probably shouldn't even do that. But it just gets to me sometimes. I just want to make sure that, people that are emailing me, I want them to get the right answer. That's all. And again, I could be wrong about everything I just said. But I'm pretty confident that I'm right on this one. Could be background stars and Satellite just had near miss and it turned at the same time the pic took, which gave a smudge. Yeah, kinda. That what we seen there would be a little bit more than that, probably. Believe it or not, guys, I'm thinking it was probably cosmic rays. Cosmic rays and maybe that larger object that was an object that was flying through there. So, thanks, E-Rock. Appreciate that, bud. Thanks for being here. So, and again, like I said, if somebody could show me some stuff that would point me the other way without just coming out, making a statement, and walking away from it, because that's what happens a lot of the time. I mean, heck, there were a couple people that I was talking to during a couple of my live shows that didn't even stay for the rest of it because I pretty much just proved my point, and I was just being nice about it. Like I typically am. I mean, I don't want anybody to get upset. I don't want anybody to leave. I don't. I respect everybody's opinion. Let me say this. If I can be able to let somebody that has a complete opposite view of me, like this is just an example. Like a flat earther. I believe in the globe model and all that, right? And probably the majority of you guys do too. But if somebody believes in the flat earth comes into my chat or is watching my channel, I don't get mad. And I don't call them stupid. They have a different opinion and all that. But I'm going to tell them that, I don't believe in that and I think it's wrong. And, we had a discussion like that before. And, the easiest thing to do in situations like that, guys, is just ask them to bring you a working model. If they can bring me a working model and show me how it works, I'll fly a flat earth flag all over my street. But that's just what it is, right? I mean, and I talk about some crazy stuff just like everybody else does too. And that's why I'm accepting of everybody that can come in here, voice their opinion as long as it's respectful. And I'm not going to think any less of you. There's a lot of good flat earth people out there, good in their heart. I'm serious. Dead serious about that. Yeah, you're right about that, DH, but you know what? When that happens, I still address them for one reason. Because I'm telling you, there's a bunch of people in the chat, bunch of people watching, and there's probably one or two of them on the fence whether or not they're going to believe it or not. So if I can help keep that from falling over the fence, I'm going to. Dolores, no, my wife and my daughter did. My wife had surgery Monday. She had her gallbladder taken out, so you know, they had to be tested, and they both came back negative. So I'm starting to feel a little bit better. So hopefully I'm, you know, on the mend. You know. Yeah, you know, and DH, you're right. You know, that's it's hard to do sometimes. I get what you're saying, because there's some things out there that we think is just so ridiculous. How could anybody ever believe something like that, right? Like some of the stuff I show you. But at the same time, I always have to keep telling myself, listen, you know, walk it back a little bit. Don't get upset. Don't do this. Don't do that. And, you know, sometimes I even find truth in some things that people are got the opposite opinion of me. Sometimes there's a lot of little bits of truth in there somewhere. So that's just what I would say to all that. But anyway, okay, got any more questions before I get off here, Jerry? That sounds working. It's all right, Paul. Hey, listen, lurk all you want. Lurk all you want. Oh, really? 7 times? Dolores, I'm fused 6 vertebrae in my neck, and you know that's kind of where my neck pain comes from, usually. Hey, Missy, just got in here. You're usually the first one in here. Where you been? You're AWOL. Just kidding. When am I coming back on? Are you talking to Hilly or are you talking to me? Paul, cool. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think they are hiding? What do I think they're hiding? Ellie, I think they're hiding so much it's not even funny. I mean, I think that anybody that has any kind of skeptical mindset has to understand that. I mean, I'm talking not even just from space. Just look around. Walk around your block. There's a whole lot of stuff I don't talk about here that I could. Oh, they talking to me? Yeah. I'll probably come back on later on this evening. I've just been trying to, you know, work my schedule around and all that kind of stuff with everything going around here. You know, my channel is growing still, and you know, thanks to you guys. I mean, I'm proud to call each one of you guys my subscribers, and you know, I feel more like a family. And it's gotten a lot better and stuff since we've been all going over hanging out on Mark's channel. You know, over at Mark Pyers. Real Talk. It's fun over there. Okay, we can talk to each other. We're laid back. We listen to music. We watch some funny, you know, face swaps and all that kind of stuff. First one here wins a cat. Well, it ain't gonna be me. Yeah, Marfugal. Yeah, he's another good guy. You know, me and Adam, we're pretty good friends. You know, I was with Adam way before his channel blew up. Way before. You know, there's probably quite a few of you in here that were too. Hey, good morning back at you, real one. Reference with the we get hit by spherical objects, go back and look at the shapes. Yeah, Ellie, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of theories and there's a lot of observations and stuff that can be looked at. You know, we can all dive into certain areas and we can find correlations a lot of different places. And, you know, and like I say, you know, I come on here with the mindset that I don't know everything. Okay? And neither does anybody else. And where we find the truth is where it overlaps. Like if I'm saying something about a specific subject, and then you're not really saying what I'm saying, but you said a little bit of it, Well, where those two overlap, that's probably at least part of the truth. That's kind of how I look at it. I try not to speak in definitives when I'm talking about space weather and stuff, especially because we just simply don't know everything. We can't. Back at you, DHS. Have a good day. Take care of them kiddos. Yeah, I heard about the meteor that hit the hit out there in New Mexico and started a fire. You guys talking about cats in there, aren't you? Who knows, Gypsy? That's a good question, guys. Let me say this about that. You're talking about chum trails and climate change and all that kind of stuff. Again, that's one subject that has been muddied up so much. It's so hard to find the truth on any of it. It's almost to the point where you almost got to hit a reset and just start from new and research it, unless you've got empirical evidence, which there are some. People. I'm talking more of the changes we're seeing, not so much the chum trails and stuff like that, but other things. Yeah, kind of, Ellie. Yeah, you're kind of right there. I could go with that. That's an interesting way to put it. That's a very good way to explain what you're actually thinking is happening. I think that yeah, I do know that they're not going to tell us everything, guys. I've always said this since the beginning. If they've seen the big one, we ain't never going to see it till it hits us. Okay? I mean, unless they think they can knock it out of the way, and then we won't know it until they do. You'd be a creepy old cat lady, huh? Wow. Thanks, Scan. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, Gypsy. You know what? You hit a good point there, and I know that I'm not the only one that feels this way. We might, here where I live in Indiana, we might get 2 to 3 weeks of fall and 2 to 3 weeks of spring. The other times, it's summer or winter. It's that simple. For me, I work in lawn care, guys, so I'm out in it, and I'm looking at it all the time. And so I see what's going on, and it's not. I even showed you guys. Oh, thanks, Arizona. I appreciate that. It's just one of those things, guys, that we're never ever going to have a definitive answer on what's causing any of this stuff that we talk about as far as climate issues, because they're never ever going to lay down for it and let somebody that has a different idea, and then the person that's going at them ain't never going to lay down at all the other way. So what I'm saying is there's no compromise in anything in this world anymore. That's where we're at, guys. And, channels like Mark Pyers, and channels like mine, and anybody else that's doing this stuff kind of like we do it, that's what we're trying to get away from. We're trying to get at least a little bit of a movement towards each other, instead of getting so mad that we just repel from each other. Even if I have to give up on something that I 100% think is the truth, I will if it's going to get me to the next step. That's just kind of how I look at it. And there's so many different theories out there. And you know what? Let me say this too. As much information that we've got from the internet, and as much knowledge that we have gained from the internet, it has confused us just as much. And that's what we got to try to get better at. And that's siphoning through all the BS to get to where the truth actually is. Get rid of the mud. Clean it up a little bit. And let's just find what's there. Even if we have to drop our pride, our ego, whatever it is, we got to do it if we're going to get anywhere at all. And my fear, guys, I'm just going to straight up say it. I don't know that we're ever going to come back from it. And that's just how I feel. You know, that's my opinion right now. Now, my opinion on that could change tomorrow if something happens, right? But I have to be honest about this too. I'm honest about everything, but I'm going to say this. You know, if you take and wrote down everything that's going on right now, okay? I'm not talking about I'm talking about just space weather, geopolitically, religiously, whatever conversations we're talking about there. We have to understand that all of it, not just one part of that, is all coming to a head right now. And that right there should wake some people up. Because I don't know here in the next couple weeks what's going to happen. You know, we've been talking about this for a few years now. Which one is the actual distraction? Are we being distracted by being deceived about what's in space? Or are we being distracted and being deceived about what's down here? That's my question. And I don't have an answer for that. I think we're getting deceived, you know, all over the place, but in my opinion, one is probably a distraction for the other. And maybe it works both ways. So that's they know. And most of them probably do. I'm talking about they, right? Quote unquote they. That's where this conversation gets really big and it gets really deep because, you know, I don't see how anybody could come out and say something is like empirically factual when they can't show me any observations, or somebody could say, you know, hey, that politician over there is going to win the election 100%. No, you can't say any of that because none of it's true. But I do think that everything that we talk about in the quote-unquote truther community, this being part of it, you know, the space stuff that I do, you look at geopolitically, you look at climate, you look at anything. There's arguments everywhere. Right on, Hilly. Right on, brother. And listen, none of us have to be scared. None of us. That's why I do what I do. Okay, and I have to tell you, there's been times, and I don't talk about this a whole lot, but there was 2, 3, maybe even 4 times Scott had to talk me down from it. So I about dropped all this. Because it was really getting to me that bad. I was getting information I wasn't even sharing with you guys that would come true. And that's the kind of stuff that bothers me because it was so disturbing, some of the stuff that's happened that I was told was going to happen before it did, that I couldn't share with you guys. Because if I did, you know, I wouldn't even have a channel. And that's the whole thing, you know. And that, you know, so I guess what I'm saying is I'm kind of talking in code here a little bit. The fact that if you hear me talking about stuff in a way that sounds kind of strange, you might like try to read between the lines there a little bit. And, you know, yeah. It's like this on the, you know, the ex-VP of our great nation, the stuff that's going on with his son right now. guys, you know, I started getting emails and things from a few people that I know, and the stuff that was getting dropped, you know, in the mainstream news today, I knew about 2 weeks ago. And just the one laptop that we're talking about here that has all that information on it, there's 2 more that will surface. Okay? Just know that. There's 2 more full ones. And it's worse than what they're telling you. If you could go to the sickest place in your mind or somebody else's mind, this goes past that. It's disgusting. Flat out disgusting. And, you know, so guys, what I'm saying is, do you guys think it's a coincidence that this all got dropped about a week and a half before an election? That ain't no coincidence, guys. It's just not. So when we're talking about all this stuff, and I'm not going to talk anymore about that because obvious reasons, but just know when you guys hear it, when you guys see it, I mean, man. It's like, you know, our leader of our country today, right? Who's in charge today? T-Man, right? That's what we'll call him, I guess. He had an interview, and I know you guys probably know this now, but I knew this like before it even got dropped on the news. Okay, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. He walked out of that 60-minute interview. Do you guys know that? There's a whole big story about that, and they started talking about it a little bit, but he's thinking about dropping that interview before they can on Sunday. That was in his tweets. He confirmed that. But I knew about it way before the tweets started popping. That's what I'm saying is, guys, I don't say that because, I know a whole bunch of this. No, I don't know a whole bunch. All I know is when to keep my mouth shut. Because if I start opening my mouth about stuff like that, none of us will be having this conversation because they're just going to simply shut my channel down. So that's why I stick to the space weather conversation the majority of the time. You know, and they're... yeah. Guys, they were shutting people's Twitter accounts off for even talking a little bit about this story about a month ago. So when that starts happening, do you think they actually care about me? They don't care about me. They'd just soon axe my channel out of here as quick as they could get it. So that's why I kind of steer away from that kind of a thing. I'll talk about it when it gets really serious. You know, once if I see like a couple of the channels out there say what I'm saying now, and then if I see them start to leak it on mainstream, I'll come out and talk about it. And you guys will probably still know everything before they do on mainstream. Because there's ways to get this information. And, you know, like I said, I've built up enough of a subscriber base that there are people, they might, and matter of fact, I think I seen one of them in the chat earlier. I'm not going to say who. They send me information, and about 95% of the time, they're correct in what they send me. There's been times they were wrong. But the majority of the time, what they tell me is true. But I don't come out and talk about it because it's not what my channel is. It's not a political channel, right? I do talk about it sometimes. But what I'm talking about right now is because I think, what comes first? The chicken or the egg? Yeah. It's, yeah. All I can say, this is what I'll say to this right now. And I'll stop talking about this stuff. Just do yourselves a favor. And just keep your head on a swivel. Pay attention to what's going on locally with you. Okay? On that first Tuesday in November, when everybody's supposed to be doing what they're doing, really, really just pay attention. Hilly, you're right. Yeah, I got you. I know where you're going with that, right? um, Good one, dude. Good one. Yeah, and that's guys. You know what you just said right there. Missy, keep the faith. That's all we got. Hold on to it. Now, just me talking about that just for a minute has struck a little bit of fear in Missy, right? I mean, you tell what happened. I didn't read it. So, my fear here, and that's why I don't talk about it. I don't want to scare people. I want them to know, but I don't want anybody getting fearful. We make bad decisions. Yeah, I know, Missy. I know you don't. I mean, I know that's why I went back and read that comment. But there's those in here that are listening to me and not commenting. There's a lot of people here doing that right now. If I went and looked at the concurrent, well, we can just do that real quick. There are roughly about 300 people in here listening to me right now. Okay? So, and there's not 300 people chatting. I don't want to scare anybody. I don't. And that's why I do what I do, guys. And that's why I don't do that kind of thing. Because when you're scared, you do make bad decisions. So when I do come out with some information, I do it kind of softly on purpose. And that's why. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this because this wasn't even supposed to be this long. My gosh. Anyway, guys, love all you guys. You guys hang out. Go over to Hilly. Check out Hilly's, excuse me. Hilly's channel. E-Rock, what's up, buddy? Yeah, that's right. No fear. No fear. Thanks to everybody that's here. I really do appreciate all you guys. I really do. And you can see how passionate I get when I'm talking about stuff where I think somebody might be giving you the wrong information. The reason why is because I actually do care. And I don't monetize my channel or none of that kind of stuff. I just don't. I'm thinking about starting up a Patreon, and it wouldn't change my channel here. Because frankly, guys, I mean, obviously I could use it just like anybody else could, especially with my wife having surgery and stuff. But I don't want to take anything from this channel. You guys, that's a promise I make to you guys right now, and I've said it since the beginning. This channel I'm sitting on right here will never be monetized. I promise. And the content that you get here is going to be the same, if not better. I'm not going to make you guys watch commercials, any of that kind of stuff. If I think I need, to do something to help support me and my family financially, I'll do it on a Patreon, or I'll do it on another, like a Subscribe Star membership type of stuff. Okay? So I'm not taking nothing from this channel, I promise. And that's where I'm at. And believe it or not, guys, that has helped me so much. It's not even crazy. It is crazy. Okay, because you know what that does? I've had people come up in here and say, "Oh, you're just doing it for the money." They don't even know that I don't monetize. It cracks me up. Yeah, thanks to you, Anna. I just, guys, and I'm not saying that to put a feather in my hat. I just want you guys to understand that nothing will ever change here as far as that goes. I will never expect anything out of that. I just won't. I just don't do that. And I am strongly thinking about starting up a Patreon, and that would be your guys' choice, You wouldn't have to, I'm not going to force you to look at a commercial here. So if you wanted to, help me out and support me a little bit, you could go over to Patreon, do it there. Or Subscribe Star. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying that that's what I'm going to do at all, But it is something that I've been considering because, situations. Guys, I got 3 kids, a wife, And, I do a lot of, I spend a lot of time doing this. But it's my choice. You guys don't make me do this. It's my choice. And that's why I don't talk about that stuff very often. Because I'm not here for that. I'm not trying to put a feather in my own hat. I'm trying to get to the truth. That's why when I refer you guys to channels, I don't care if you say my name or not. You ain't got to go over and say, hey, Wages sent me. No, you ain't got to say none of that. Just if you go over there, if I point you over there, I'm pointing you over there to help you. Or, when I... And this is the other thing, guys. Check this out. Seeing how this stream's already going long anyway, might as well just go full bore with it, huh? Let's do this. I'm going to start another tab real quick. Hold on. I don't want to accidentally shut my stream down. I've done that before. Yeah, I'm going to take you guys, I'm going to show you guys this, and I've been showing you Mark's channel a lot. But while I'm showing you this, I want to show you something. Just listen to what I got to say here. Okay? This channel here, I want to explain to you a little bit of the evolution of this, okay? He did this in 2018. Okay, he started his channel up. Well, he started doing this content in 2018. He has streamed 2 to 6 hours every day since. Not a break, not one. He had, at the max, he had like 95 people subscribed. And he did it that way for 2 years. And I guess like the first year of it was only like 4 or 5 people. There was even a time where he didn't have anybody watching. And so when Sig's not in here right now, but a lot of you guys know who Sig is. He mentioned it to Scott, right? Scott started pointing people over here, pointing people to Mark. So I went over and checked it out. Within 5 minutes, I was belly laughing at what he was showing. Okay? Now, why is that special? I haven't belly laughed in 2 years. And that's the truth. That is the truth. I couldn't remember until that point when that happened, when I had really truly just laughed to laugh. Not because, I was chuckling a little bit, or I was not being rude to somebody that told a joke or anything like that. It legitimately made me belly laugh. So, people ask me why do I keep, telling people about Mark's channel. I'm not going to stop, because this is positivity. This is positive stuff. All that crap I just got through talking about with you guys, go through there and find one positive thing of information. You can't find it. Everything I just showed you was, it was true, but it was negative stuff that we need to be aware of. So if I could get a break from all that and come over here and laugh and sit in a chat room with you guys and really just talk as friends instead of being serious, I'm going to take that chance. I'm going to take that opportunity to do that with you guys. And that's why I want everybody that I can to get over there and do that. Now, with that being said, guys, listen. He had 295 subs. I started shouting him out. We did some love bombs. Thanks to you guys, look at this. Within a month, he gained 2,000 subs in a month. He's now getting 40 to 50 people on average in watching his shows concurrently. In other words, there's always 40 or 50 people in his live stream at all times. What that means is the people that are coming over there and watching, they're not leaving. That says it all, guys. How many times have you been pointed towards a channel? I know with me, somebody will suggest a channel, I'll go over and watch it, and you're like, man, that's a bunch of crap. And you walk away, right? I've not had one person come back to me and say that about Mark. Not one person. So when people say, oh man, you guys you're bleeding that out. No, I'm not bleeding it out. I'm trying to spread some positivity on a negative informational channel like mine. And I thought maybe you guys could, enjoy that. I was sharing it. This does not need to be in a corner somewhere. This is the stuff that needs to be out front. Because if it is, everybody's happier. Somewhere along the line, guys, at least for me, most of us forgot how to have fun. We forgot how to laugh at things that maybe we shouldn't be laughing at according to political correctness. Screw that. If I want to laugh at something, I'm going to laugh at it. It's putting a smile on my face. And, I'm not going to go offend anybody. That's not what I'm saying. Come on, Exile. He's over there all the time. Oh, my gosh. So, yeah. Come on, dude. Oh, my gosh. Chat, know that Exile's in here. He's trolling, man. He's trolling. Put him in timeout. Anyway, see, that kind of right there, we're laughing, right? I'm telling you, man. He writes his own music. He does covers. He's just awesome. Yeah, it's kind of like that, Jerry. It really is. That's just, yeah. People have forgot that it's okay to laugh at stuff. They really have. Yeah, 2PC is bad. Exactly. Exactly, Grace. Exactly. Samuel, you were over here last night, wasn't you? Yeah, that's what you just said, didn't you? You really needed it last night. It helped, didn't it? It did. It does. My gosh, you can have a bad day, come over here and watch Mark, and I'm telling you guys, it'll flip it around for you. If he's not making you laugh, the people in the chat are going to support you and bring you up. They're going to lift you up. They're not going to be beating you in the head. We get a lot of people on channels like mine that come over here and just start beating people. We don't do that. We don't do that over here. We don't do that here in my channel either. Because, I got good moderators. I got good subscribers that don't typically, come at me. At least sideways, We can disagree, and we have. But 99% of those people still stay because I'm respectful and I can still listen. Not just hear what they're saying, but actually listen and let it sink in. You're welcome, Heidi. So, guys, listen. I really would love if you guys, we need like 7 or 8 subscribers over on D Live for Mark. Okay? Give me a second here real quick. Anybody that doesn't have D Live, it's really simple. It's a great platform, number one. But he needs 7 more subscribers to get him over the edge. And when he gets there, the channel opens up for him and everybody in it. It unlocks like a ton of features. So he's just trying to get to that 200 number. So I guess I could just, well, no, because I'd have to log in. Hold on. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in on my phone. And I'll send a link. But hang on a second, guys. I would really love for you guys to go over there and let's pop him up over 200. It'd put a smile on his face. And Sig's. because they've been working hard for 2 years just to get that up. I mean, it's crazy. D-Live is another, it's a live streaming platform. I don't think they have like videos, but they do live stream exclusively. Let me see here if I can find Mark. You know what? I bet it's on his description list here. Hold on a minute. Guess I could have just done that, couldn't I?
It's Mark Pyers.
Look at him. Just look at him. How can you not smile? He cracks me up, man. Let's see here. Let's, man, how do you get the... YouTube did an update or something, didn't they? Wow. What's going on here? Oh, show more. Duh. Here it is, guys. Look. Now I'm going to put this in the chat, okay? Guys, please go over here and subscribe. Please. Oh, thanks, Exile. You took care of it. Thank you. Thank you, bud. Appreciate that. Anybody else that did that? You know, and I hate to say it like this, but even if you go over there and subscribe, just to give him a subscription, and you don't really want to go to D-Live and watch, at least we're going to get him up over 200. You know, if we get him up over 200, guys, I'll do something special for you guys, all right? I got something planned anyway, so we're going to do a little bit of Aunt Judy. You guys will know what that means when I do it. But yeah, if you guys could, please go over there and please check it out. And go over here to his channel and check him out anyway. Well, heck, since we did this, he's already raised some subscribers. I bet a couple of you guys went over there and subbed up. I mean, yeah, guys, it is a riot over here. It is a blast. Thanks, E-Rock. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys. If we could get him up over there, man. Spell check got you divorced? Oh, man. Be careful. Okay. But if you sign up for D-Live, it's as simple as signing up for a YouTube account, guys. Really is. Oh, no, buddy. No way, man. So, yeah. And I know there's going to be somebody in my comment section. Quit talking about this. I know, guys. I really do. I probably will be making a recorded video later on today. Somebody had a good suggestion. I probably need to put timestamps in there so people that come for the information just want the information. But I really, truly intend, after my wife gets better, to record the videos like I was and just add a couple live streams through the week. I don't want to change my content up that much because I know what I was doing, people liked it, and you know, I know we like the live streams too, and I'm going to do those also. But yeah. Did we get 200, man? Awesome. You guys are freaking great. That's right. That's right, Exile. Awesome. Oh, thank you, Samuel. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you for the prayers. Really. And guys, come over here to his show tonight. He's been trying to get on a little bit earlier because I showed him how to get to look at the analytics. And he was broadcasting at the wrong times of the day because most of the people that viewed him weren't online at that time. So he's kind of doing a little earlier, and more people are in there, and it's fun. Really is. That's right, E-Rock. We got it, man. We got it. Exile, you the man. E-Rock, you the man. All you guys that went over there. That's awesome. Thank you. And thank you guys for the prayers for my family. I can't tell you guys enough. I mean, again, you know, Mark says this a lot too. I really, truly care about you guys. I really do. I'm getting a little concerned anyway about one of our subscribers. Does anybody know how to get a hold of Teresa? She was supposed to email me and I never got the email. She's our subscriber that's in hospice, guys. I haven't heard from her for like 3 or 4 days. So I don't want to, you know, go the wrong way there, but I don't even want to talk about it like that. It's just I haven't heard from her. She's usually on here every day. So, oh, did you see her over on Marf? Okay, good. Thank you. That sets my mind at ease a lot. So, but yeah, guys, thanks for going over to D Live and taking care of that for us, guys. That's awesome. Thank you so much. But guys, I am going to have to yeah, I am feeling a little bit better, actually. I really am. So, prayers are helping me too. So, thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate everybody that's here. And, yeah. So, I am going to cut it now, guys. I know I can stay on here and talk to you guys all day, but obviously that can't happen. So, anyway, guys, God bless. Yahuwah saves, and,